Welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby. Welcome back to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Sexy Ian, with my co-host, Ever. What it do, baby?
Hey, and hey, listeners out there. Before we get started, please check out our merch store at teespring.com. Search for New Entry Wrestling Podcast. We got cool shirts and more. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod, and check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. So let's get started. This episode, we're going to talk about the Elimination Chambers results.
Yes, sir. It was alright. It was alright
Yeah.
show. I mean, for a Saturday morning, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over the results of the show. So we had Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for the Universal title. Reigns ended up winning by submission. Then we had, who was the second match?
The women's elimination chamber match.
Yeah, we had women's elimination chamber match. We had Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. Belair ended up winning that, so good for her. She got the W, so she's gonna face the Raw Women's Championship. So with that, it was Lita versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. Lynch ended up winning, so it's gonna be Belair versus Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship
at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And then we had, I think the one after that was a Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. Ronda had to have an arm tied behind her back. They ended up still winning though.
Yeah.
They made her look like a beast, right?
Basically. It was all right.
And then
match. It was it was like watching a SmackDown match, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Charlotte looked good though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and McIntyre ended up winning that. And they all had a pre-show match, Rey Mysterio versus Miz. Right. And Mysterio ended up winning that one.
Rey Mysterio.
And then for the main event, it was the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. It was Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, and what am I missing?
Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, and Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins. And then Brock Lesnar ended up winning that one. So yeah. So that was the lineup, man.
So I'm gonna say, this is the first thing I'm gonna say. The lineup, I was very impressed. Let's face it, when it comes to these like crown jewels, the Saudi Arabia shows, let's face it, they do have great lineups. They have like WrestleMania lineups, right? But once they're there and you see the match, it doesn't deliver. The matches where you're like, why is this happening? Why are they booking this match on that show? And it turns out to be the best match of the night. So it doesn't make sense. Like Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I don't understand why that was in the pre-show or the kickoff show. It was a really good match. Roman Reigns and Goldberg, I understand, why we got that match and why it opened up the show. Yeah, that match, apparently that was Goldberg's last match, and I'm like, and you're happy with that? I'm pretty sure just happy with the payout.
Yeah.
But match-wise, it was just like, wow, already. Worse, just horrible. Belair and the women's elimination chamber match, it was decent, but it felt rushed.
Yeah, seems like women matches in Saudi Arabia are not always like, I don't know. They don't like. I don't know why. Like,
yeah, it felt like the match felt rushed, and it felt like, I don't know, if it felt like nobody wanted to work in that match, to be honest.
Well, yeah, they had to wear like the entire jumpsuit stuff. They probably were like, man, why am I? Like they have to, because it's like law.
Yeah,
But
but
like,
at the same time, it's just if it they the effort that they put in that match, it felt like they didn't want to be there. But
yeah,
Alexa, I really thought Alexa Bliss was gonna win, but Belair, Bianca Belair got the W on that one. I love Belair. I just don't love that we're gonna see her against Becky. And
redemption, man, redemption.
but the thing is, and now it's pretty obvious that Belair is gonna win.
Mm,
You know, the only good thing is that she's gonna be if she beats her, and she's gonna be the second horse, the two out of the four horsewomen that
yeah,
she faced at WrestleMania.
well,
So the first one was
mm,
Sasha, and then now it's Becky. So that's what's pretty cool about it. She faced two out of the four at WrestleMania for the women's title. Um, but to me, I feel like it would have been better if she would have won the Royal Rumble, so that way she could have been a two times. But
yeah,
hey, whatever. I'm not. But yeah, it's just that, like I said, the match felt rushed, and then we're gonna go ahead and see a rematch. So like this whole pay-per-view, WrestleMania 34, 38, it's all a paper, it's like an all rematch event.
yeah,
Ronda and match, I don't really want to talk about, which
yeah,
basically, Charlotte looked good. Sonya Deville, she faked that arm injury. She just wanted, Ronda to sign that contract so she could have one of her arms tied back.
yeah,
Drew McIntyre, Madcap Moss. That I don't know why there was a Fox Count Anywhere match, because I think they only had like 2 or 3 pinfalls outside the ring.
yeah.
Um, but let's talk about that spot when
Whew.
Madcap Moss took when he took that head, that power driver. What was that?
Yeah,
That was like a reverse Alabama slam, right?
yeah. A reverse Alabama slam. Yeah,
And he went head first, the top of the head first, man. That was like a straight up power driver.
yeah,
And he after he took that bump, Drew McIntyre should have took it. I don't know if he saw it, but that ref should have been like, "Hey, buddy, take it home." I don't think this guy's all there, because
yeah,
clearly he wasn't. It looked like he was trying his best to fight, work his way through it, but it looked like there was nobody home. Um, the only thing is, the only thing bad thing about that rivalry is that Drew McIntyre is gonna go on face Happy Corbin at WrestleMania 38. So all that,
yeah,
that whole feud just for that build up. Becky Lynch versus Lita. Um, Lita, I love Lita, but the match was too long. Let's just put it that way.
yeah,
Uh, it was not that great, but at the same time, I don't want to trash Lita just because she is Lita
yeah,
and she hasn't been in the ring in a long time. But the effort that she looked like she wanted to put in the work, unlike
yeah,
Goldberg. So I will say that, unlike Goldberg, where it's like I just want to do a couple of spots, I don't want to do too much. Lita looked like, even though it was sloppy, but Lita looked like she wanted to be there and she was actually trying her best. But it was like, she hasn't wrestled in a long time, so I will give her that, like good job on that effort. So it wasn't, but again, it doesn't change the fact that it was kind of sloppy, but that was her excuse. And I felt like there was a certain point where I felt like if it was like 6 to 8 minutes match, I feel like it would have been great. But you could tell that they kind of dragged out the match because they had like a long time limit, you know.
yeah,
So they were trying to drag it out. And I felt like that was just, when you run and then you stop and then you go running and you stop and it's just like
yeah.
what's that word? I don't know that word. When you're
Like
like,
your cool down,
yeah, you're doing
your
too
cool
much
down.
to the point where when you starting to speed up, you can't speed up as how you used to.
Yeah.
because
I almost thought she was gonna win though. Like that when she did the twist of faith and the moonsault.
oh yeah,
I screamed like, "Oh my god, she's gonna win it! She's gonna win it!" I was excited. I was yelling at the TV like, "She's gonna win it! She's
I
gonna
really
win
yeah, I
it!"
thought so too
I
because
was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, oh damn, she's gonna win. I thought so too when she hit the moonsault. I didn't thought she
Yeah,
was gonna hit it, to be honest.
no, I thought she's gonna get like and then get like disarm her and stuff, but no, it's
Yeah, I
like
thought she
she
was
actually hit it.
yeah, I thought
Like
she was gonna
what?
like Becky was gonna move out of the way, but then she hit it. And I thought like Becky was gonna like roll out of the ring. But then no, she went for the cover and Becky kicked out like half a
Early.
second, before that hand was gonna hit the mat for the 3 count. And I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a triple threat match, at WrestleMania, or Lita's gonna defend the title next night on Raw. But no, so the only thing I hate Becky's finisher.
The
The man's
disarmer.
no, the man slam.
Oh yeah,
I hate it. It's like she doesn't even do the rock bottom. She grabs them from like the side.
it's like
You
a
know,
origami. So
no, not
origami.
even that.
No,
It's more like that finisher. Oh my gosh, what the hell is his
the
name? But
bookend.
no, the bookend is like the rock bottom, where
Yeah.
you have your hand on his shoulder, and your opponent has your arm over
Yeah.
your shoulder. She has it like under your armpit, kind of like a boss man slam,
Mm,
but
okay.
without the spin. So like
Oh, okay.
yeah, like Abyss Dark Horse Slam.
Yeah.
So it's basically like that's how she's having them. But
Wow.
she like they grab them from the side and then slam them. Well, they spin them and slam. She doesn't. She just picks them up and slams them.
Wow.
So yeah, and that's how she got the W. So
I
so
think I think I guess it felt like it was dragging, so they like let's finish the match and then let's just do the man. It could have disarm her, but then like that would have taken an extra minute or two. Like the
not
struggle.
really,
No.
because there's Becky knows how to put that move
Yeah.
on her
Yeah.
and make her tap out. So I felt, but then like I'm pretty sure they didn't want Lita to tap out, or Lita didn't want to tap out because this it's possibility this could be her last match.
Yeah. You know what I forgot? The Usos facing the Viking Raiders. It never even happened. It could have been a pre-show thing. I don't know why they did it like in the main
Yeah,
show.
I don't know. I don't know why they
I'm
saved it
like,
towards the end, and why they ended up in a no contest, because they attacked them when the
yeah,
Viking Raiders was on the way to the ring, and they attacked
yeah,
them, and it was just like, why
yeah,
they could have had like a few minute match.
yeah. They could have
They
flipped it. The Usos match and the Mysterio, that match and the Rey Mysterio Miz match could have been flipped. Just put that in the pre-show. Like, oh, we
yeah.
didn't wrestle.
Yeah, I don't
Or have,
understand. Yeah, Rey Mysterio and but to be honest, what if they would have done the same thing to them if they would
yeah,
have flipped it? Because like, what was the reason behind it?
yeah. I think they're gonna face each other like in a no disqualification like match or in a cage match. Something where it's like you could attack us, but you're not gonna be able to like run away anymore. You can't do jumping people.
Yeah, possibly.
That's why I was like,
Can you imagine
yeah,
doing that whole flight just not to wrestle?
yeah. Hey, I'm getting paid. I'm like, hey,
Still, Bob.
I'm in this other city. I'm getting paid. Jeddah's
True.
not. I heard Jeddah's nice. I heard it's a really nice city. So I'm like, I'm in a different country. I'm getting paid to show up anyways. I don't care. They're giving us all these things because they're WWE wrestlers. You see the little
True.
things they posted. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I'm getting paid. I don't care. You could hit me with a chair. I'm just
Hell
kidding.
no, I'll be mad as hell. I'll be like,
Lay
oh,
me
really?
out like backstage. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna go grab some food.
But the thing is, what they did, that's something that you do on like on Raw or SmackDown, not on a
Yeah,
freaking pay-per-view.
yeah. You
I
know
hate
who we
when they do
missed too?
that.
They didn't even do Mansoor out here this time.
Who the hell is Mansoor?
He's a wrestler from Saudi Arabia. He's undefeated. I think they're
Oh,
only
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I think they only use him for Crown Jewel. And what's the other one? Only Crown. Now it's only Crown Jewel, right?
Right. Well, he was on yeah, he was basically on every show.
Saudi Arabia, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think because this one was different because it was an elimination chamber, so it's like it's we're it's not exclusive to Saudi Arabia, but like but
Yeah,
we had it Saudi Arabia. So like they could actually do that with any pay per view they wanted to. They could like, you know what, this not WrestleMania though. WrestleMania would have to be well in the U.S. or Canada, right? Or maybe in the future in London or something. But like they could put like extreme rules in Saudi Arabia. They could put TLC if they bring it back in Saudi Arabia. You know, like they could put any pay per view in Saudi Arabia besides WrestleMania.
true.
The Rumble maybe not because they would pop some pay per views they would
Well,
want to
they
keep in the
did the
U.S.
greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but not the Royal Rumble. No, not
Yeah,
the or Survivor Series or you know they could put anything, but I think he would only be like Crown Jewel. What's the other one? Crown Jewel. What's the other one?
superstar, superstar.
Superstar.
No, Super Showdown.
Yeah, Super
Superstar.
Showdown. So those two are in Saudi Arabia, but eventually, yeah,
When was the last time they had a Super Showdown?
2020 or 19? I think 19,
Oh, 2020 when it was the
20.
Fane versus Goldberg.
Yeah. So I don't know, but who knows? They might just this might be like, and then they'll do Crown Jewel. Oh, they did Crown Jewel this year, right? No, they didn't. It was last year,
No, they did. Well, yeah, no, last year. Well, a few months back, it was when Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
and that was in October, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was.
Okay, so they probably do like Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, and then they'll do Crown Jewel, and then everything else would be like, well, I think they already did the lineup, so they're mostly in the U.S. after this, besides Crown Jewel.
Yeah, because they're having Money in the Bank, WrestleMania Backlash, and then SummerSlam's already been announced.
And Chicago's gonna get one, man. Well, I don't know which one, but let's hope it's extreme like rules, but actually
Oh
be
hell no.
extreme.
They better be
Yeah,
they better be done with Extreme Rules.
yeah,
But anyways, let's talk about the Elimination Chambers, the men's, the WWE title, Brock
yeah,
Lesnar, bro. So who started off the match? Seth freaking Rollins and Austin Theory start off the match. Then eventually it was Riddle that came in third. Fourth was AJ Styles. But beforehand, was it still when Austin Theory and Seth Rollins were still wrestling when Bobby Lashley got taken out?
yeah. He
That
was.
spot was so weak. But then at the afterwards,
Yeah,
the whole we'll talk about that later. So then after that, it was supposed to be, I'm assuming it was supposed to be Bobby Lashley next, but it ended up being Brock Lesnar.
yeah. He just broke in
Yeah,
there
he
like,
just broke in there and he gave F5s to Seth Rollins first, then what's it called, Riddle, then AJ Styles, and then Austin Theory took the nastiest F5 ever on top of
yeah.
the pod. Dude, when I saw that,
He's gonna die.
hold on. I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one that just came out.
Yeah.
Nothing. But when I saw that freaking F5 off the top of the pod, I wanted to throw up. I was like, what the hell? That was so disturbing. I don't know why. I think it's because like he landed like feet first. And
Yeah.
I know that feeling. I jump off things before. And you know that when you that shock that comes from your feet down up your leg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it feels like you broke every bone on your legs and you just don't want to walk after that. I know that feeling. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, if he landed like on his tailbone, it's like, okay, you're done. You're not getting up. I was just like, oh my god, that was so freaking awesome and also disturbing at the same time, man. I was like, wow. I was like, that dude he did something crazy, crazy.
Yeah. You know, I know he was really, really scared when he on the way down he was trying to hold on to the chamber. Like that one hand was hanging. He that's when you know he was like scared as heck. Because you could see like because if he knew he was gonna land safely, he would just be like, okay. But he like went for the chamber. So he
Right.
that broke his fall a little bit. But he would have gotten worse probably if he did like didn't because it kind of broke his fall a little bit because as he was falling, he grabbed the chain and it kind of slowed him down a little bit.
Right.
But still, Jesus. I think McMahon's gonna get him like a U.S. title after that. It's like for doing that, I'm gonna give you a title. I'm gonna give you a U.S. title or something.
I think he was trying to like what's it called? Create a memory,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jeez,
that's a memory he's
I don't
gonna
want to be.
have he's gonna have forever, man. I think that tops at the moment. That's like our not mine era, but this era's version of when Mick Foley went off the top, fell off the top of the Hell in the Cell. Like
Yeah.
I gotta put it up there, man. That was very like one, it was unnecessary
Yeah.
because it's Brock freaking Lesnar. You could just take a regular F5, but that's something. And to be honest, Hell in the Cell, the Elimination Chamber, they never really had a crazy moment like that. If you
Yeah.
really think about it,
Well, the only one I could think about is when Jeff Hardy got on the top of the pod or RVD and they did like their move
right?
and they jumped off. But like that's like a high flyer. This is like if I could see like someone did a power bomb off the top of like they like threw him
Well,
off and he
yeah.
landed, but
Well,
you
Mick,
never seen
what's
that.
it called? The Undertaker gave MVP a choke slam from the top of
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Undertaker wasn't on the pod; he was on the top of the ropes.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? MVP, he's in control. You're going over. I'm just doing the motion. Brock Lesnar picked him up over his shoulder and just said, "Good luck."
What whipped them?
Yep, just
Like,
said, "Good
hey,
luck."
like dust, like here you
Yeah,
go.
you
Just
know,
threw him off. Like there you
right?
go. Nah, I think Theory's gonna get a push for that because he was like the last two. You would think it'll be like Riddle
Yeah,
or AJ or
I thought it
Seth
was.
Rollins.
Yeah,
He'd
I
be
thought it was gonna be AJ Styles. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be somebody that or AJ Styles or Seth Rollins. I thought it was gonna be one of those two. Somebody that will fight back. Not saying Matt, Riddle wouldn't fight back, but Riddle, based on his character, it's like, nah, I don't think so. But
Mhm.
like, I would love to see Riddle and Brock Lesnar just to go at it for a couple minutes. That's what I was hoping for.
Well, they hate each other in real life. I think that's why they
I
probably
think
like.
no, I think now they're
Oh, they're good
they're
now.
they're they're cool, but I think Brock Lesnar just doesn't want to
Deal with them. Just like here, take
deal
that
with
five and
just
pin him.
yeah, doesn't want to do too much with him. Before, yeah, there was a real they Brock Lesnar did have beef with him.
Now they're like, take this F5 and get out my ring.
So, but now the outcome of everything, the reason why how that match took place is because Bobby Lashley was injured. He took that nasty. We talked about it on the last. Well, I don't know which episode, but we talked about it on the one we were the recap of the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Bobby Lashley took that nasty German suplex where he landed on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's did he tore something or was it dislocated? I think he
No,
tore
I
something,
think he
right?
tore a muscle or
Yeah,
something. He
yeah, he
tore his
tore.
like,
Yeah, because he has to take he needs surgery, and he's gonna be out of action for about 4 to 5 months.
yeah.
So
So he probably would have had a longer reign, or you think he would have still lost title at
no,
Chamber?
I think he still would have lost the title because you know the whole buildup was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Now, is it for title, or is it champion
Yeah,
versus champion?
I think they're gonna merge the titles. Whoever wins is gonna take the WWE Championship.
Okay,
They're gonna fight. They're gonna probably break the brand split now because they realize like we got rid of a lot of people. We have all these championships that we're not like the Intercontinental Champion. Like I know like Sami Zayn won it, but Nakamura didn't really do much with it.
right,
And then the U.S. title is Damian Priest. So like, well, we might as well merge them or just have no more brand split. And then they'll be like, instead of having like, because then Roman Reigns, like we mentioned before, he didn't really have a lot of competition with the Universal
true,
title, right? He had
true.
to get like Goldberg and he had to get Brock Lesnar. They had to get like bring people in. So I think this is the only title that's gonna unify, and probably the SmackDown. I think the major titles are gonna get unified, like the SmackDown, the Universal and WWE, and then the women's are gonna unify. Every other title is gonna stay like maybe not, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
because I think it's gonna. Yeah, because if they would merge the title, I think they're better. Because Roman Reigns is what's it called? He built a legacy with that Universal title. But that title, let's face it, that title could go away. Do you really think what's his name Vince McMahon's gonna get rid of the WWE World Title? Like
No,
the all that legacy that title has.
yeah.
I don't think he's ever gonna get rid of it. And
So yeah,
because there's still kids that looking up to that title because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Bret Hart, now John Cena. And if they
yeah,
decide to get rid of that title, especially John Cena alone, because there's gonna be a lot of kids later on, they're gonna grow up, and it's because of John Cena. I want to be a
yeah,
WWE superstar because of John Cena. They take that title away and keep the Universal title. John Cena never hold that title. Randy Orton
yeah,
never hold that title. Edge never hold that title.
yeah.
So there's besides what's his name, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and it's just like that's not going to be enough for people to be like, that's the title I want.
Yeah. So you
Because
think they're gonna bring back the undisputed title, like that like classic Eddie Guerrero
honestly,
championship?
I don't understand why they can't go back to the old titles. I just don't
Yeah,
understand why they can't go back to it and like modify it a little bit.
yeah, like make it modern, but don't have the big W on there. You
Right.
could, but like, yeah. So I'm thinking like they would probably merge that title and then because even the SmackDown Women's Championship, I mean, they finally using it, but she didn't have a title match until WrestleMania, pretty much. When's the last time Charlotte defended it? Tony
Uh,
Storm on SmackDown, and then Tony Storm disappeared. You know what I mean? Like
on pay per
pay
view.
per view. Yeah,
On SmackDown, I have no idea. On pay per view, the only thing I could think of is the one Extreme Rules when she faced Alexa Bliss. Bliss.
Extreme
That's
Rules. Wasn't that like
wasn't that in Extreme Rules?
no? It had to be after that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Because
and
she
then
faced Becky. Charlotte faced Becky at Survivor Series, and it was title for champion
yeah,
versus champion.
yeah. What I
Um,
could see happening is they're gonna this match is gonna be a unification match. Then whoever wins between at WrestleMania is gonna face each other, and they're gonna unify the women's championship. The Intercontinental United States are probably gonna merge, so probably you're gonna do Intercontinental because that means who do you prefer? Like if they merge the U.S. and Intercontinental, or keep them separate titles? Because they're kind of like both secondary
um,
titles. So legacy wise, Intercontinental.
well, first let me say this: Charlotte did her last woman's title defense was at Extreme Rules against Alexa Bliss on a pay
What
per
year
view.
was it? What month was that?
1 month,
October.
September.
So that's October, 5 months ago.
Yeah, on a
Five
pay per view.
months. Yeah, and then six. Oh, yeah, and then 6 months. Well, 7 months with WrestleMania because it's February or April. Will be 7 months. She hasn't defended a title on pay per view.
Pay per view.
7 months. So I'm thinking they're gonna eventually merge that, and then it's gonna be like
I don't
all these
think
women go
no,
for
they're not
the.
gonna merge it.
No, you don't think they're gonna ever
No,
merge?
no, I don't think they should. But
Mm,
back to your question with the whole which one, the IC, I don't know because the IC has more legacy. But if you base on, I'm going based on just the title looks. The
yeah.
US title, the current, it looks like a world title.
Mm,
It looks like a title that it can main event a pay per view. The
mm,
IC title looks like a mid card title.
yeah.
You know, while 20, 30 years ago, it used to be a main event title. It used to main event if the world champion couldn't make it to a house show or because he needed to be in a different town. Guess what? Guess what match was main eventing that house show? Whoever was the IC champion,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's just like it's whatever. But to be honest, Vince doesn't care about the title. So get rid of it. Bring another title that you think will be worth you, or I don't know how to say it. It'd be worth it for him to be like, okay, this title could mean something. This is how I'm gonna bring it up. So this way, uh whoever holds it could be a top guy in the future, a future main event player, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really Vince's call. He doesn't care for the title. So it's like, why is it there then?
Yeah. Mm,
So why are you playing? Why are you having like play? Doing the whole hot potato thing with it.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and then to be honest, here's the thing: does Vince even care about the Universal title? Does he only care because Roman Reigns has it?
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't care for it, get rid of it, you know. But hey, whatever. It's not my company.
Yeah.
So
True.
I'm just saying, like, there's no point. You know, we talked to what's his name, the Eric from Warrior Wrestlings. He brought these titles because it was gonna mean something,
Yeah.
you know, and so it's the same thing with him. You know, bring the titles if it's gonna mean something, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I get you.
So yeah, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 38. Winner takes all.
Mm-hmm.
Becky versus Bianca Belair for
Bianca.
the Raw Women's title, and then Charlotte versus Ronda for the
Mm-hmm.
SmackDowns, and then yeah, I guess that's it for now at the moment.
Yeah, we got like a month and change. We got
Six
some
about
over a month.
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks. So you never know. It might change. It might be a triple threat match for this title or that title. It might be a fatal four way. It might be a five way. Who knows?
True, but that wasn't the only show that happened last night. Um, on Saturday night, Impact Wrestling had No Surrender.
Yeah.
It was a decent show, way better than Elimination Chamber. Way
Yeah.
better. You want to go ahead and read the lineup? Do you have the lineup? That's the question.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I don't know if this is a pre-show. I think yeah, these probably are pre-show matches.
If it's Trey
But
Miguel, then yeah, it's a pre-show.
yeah, Trey Miguel and John Skyler in the singles match. Trey Miguel won. Havoc defeated Tennille Dashwood. In a singles match. That was pre-show. First match that was actually not pre-show was Jake something against Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Mike Bailey. A fatal four-way. Whoever wins becomes number one contender for the Impact title. Jake something won that one. After that, it was Jonah defeating Black Taurus in a singles match. Jay White defeating Eric Young in a singles match. Diana Perrazzo defeating Miranda Elise for the ROH Women's World Championship. Matt Cardano versus Jordan Grace by winning by DQ for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Good Brothers defeating God, Gorillas of Destiny for the Impact World Title.
He said God,
Mickey
dude.
James,
God.
yeah, God.
God.
Mickey James defeating Tasha Steeles for the Impact Women's World Championship. Moose defeating W. Morrissey for the Impact World Championship, and an Honor More defeating Team Impact in a 10-man tag team match.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the wrestler Jake something, he is the number one contender. That
Hmm.
match was pretty good. It was very decent. Mike Bailey, I'm happy that he finally joined Impact Wrestling. Uh,
I never heard
yeah,
of him until like recently. Where was he
yeah.
before?
Oh, for the past 5 years, man, he had to go back to Canada because of his something happened
Vista.
visa. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You gotta go check him out on PWG. That's how I discovered him.
well, he was yeah. I think I saw his match at Warrior. Not watch it, but like I know he had a good match with Santana at Warrior Wrestling
Yeah.
recently.
Oh, dude, he's great. He's
Yeah,
really great. Uh, Jonah and Black. What's his name? Taurus.
Taurus. Yeah,
Uh, it was decent. It was really it was good, honestly. Um, it was I expected a little bit more from Black Taurus because he has that X Division style,
yeah.
but it was more like big man versus big man. I mean, there don't get me wrong, there was a couple high spots, but it was kind of slow paced. Let's just put it that way. So
Hmm.
the moves wasn't bad. It was just slow pace. Because it's like I seen Jonah Russell, Josh Alexander. I seen Black Taurus versus Michael Elgin. And it's like You guys could both go, but for some reason, this match was like there was no chemistry. Let's just put it out. That's a good word. There was no chemistry between them. Jay White versus Eric Young, leader versus leader. Eric Young's the leader of the Violence of the Design. Jay White is the leader of the Bullet Club. This match was really good. The only problem was it was short. That was the only bad thing about the match. It was pretty short. I figured this was gonna be like the heading towards a little bit higher on the card, but I guess based on the lineup on the card, I see why. Jay White got the W on that one. So Deanna Purrazzo, she retained the the Ring of Honor Women's title against some lady I don't know. I'm sorry.
Miranda Elise. She's in the Indies a lot. She's really good.
I never heard of her. I mean, she's hot. I give her that. She's a good wrestler. She was.
Yeah.
You know what? It was sloppy. That match was sloppy. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of sloppy. Have you ever seen a match where spoiler alert, I'm gonna break, kayfabe. But have you ever seen a match and you're like, for a fact they went over their match? And then there's some matches where they're like, they either forgot their spot or they're calling it in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nothing wrong with that. But when you're gonna call it in the ring and it's like, are you that experienced to be able to call it in the ring?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about that match, where it's like I felt like they were calling in the ring, or they were just like, yeah, but hey, whatever. It was sloppy. But they were both attractive and fine. So the ending was decent. I liked the ending was good. What was the Matt Cardona versus Jordan Grace?
Yeah.
Impact Digital Media World Championship, what Matt Cardona's calling it. It was their match. The first time they wrestled, it was better. This one was okay, but the fact that it was ended up in a no DQ, I kind of understood why the match was how it was. But yeah, I guess they're gonna have a rematch, hopefully at Sacrifice, man. Because I'm trying to see her up close. You understand? I'm trying to see that booty up close, man. So I ain't trying to see it on my screen. So the next match that I was actually surprised how well it turned out. And at that time it was match of the night. And I think it still is. It was actually match of the night overall, the whole pay-per-view. The Good Brothers versus GOD for the Impact World Tag Team titles. On paper, when I saw that was gonna happen, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so freaking awesome. But it's an Impact Plus special. I thought I was gonna end up in a no DQ. I thought Jay White, Eric Young, somebody's gonna interfere, and then the match was just gonna, the feud's gonna continue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't thought nobody was gonna win. And when I watched the match, I was like, whoa, what's going on? I was not expecting it to be this good.
Yeah.
And the ending, Jay White shows up. Well, first it was Chris Bay. He helped interfere. And then Jay White came out, hit him with the what's it called, the blade runner, the blade cutter, whatever he calls it.
Yeah.
On I'm assuming it was on Tonga.
Yeah.
They both look they look very similar now since they all decided to get haircuts. And hit him with the cutter, and then the Good Brothers picked them up, hit them with the what is it they call it, the magic kill or
Magic Killer.
Killer, and got the 3 count, which now the GOD, I'm assuming they're out of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the Jay White helped them out because he was on the AEW helping out the Young Bucks. So yeah. So my only thing is GOD, if they are out of the Bullet Club, are they still with New Japan? Are they
I,
gonna sign with
I
Impact? Are they gonna sign with Ring of Honor? Why
probably
are
with AEW.
why would they wrestle in Impact Wrestling
Yeah,
unless they decide to show up there?
they'll probably show up in because Switchblade is not signed with AEW, right? He's just doing like because he works for New Japan. He's there,
Yeah,
so they probably be returning New Japan. I think re-sign a contract and just like face the Young Bucks in AEW, and then you know
my thing is,
go to Impact.
why are they there? Why? What happened with New Japan? It's like how they ended up. How were they able to get them? That's what I want to know. I feel
Who?
like Impact able to get God.
Oh, they have. So it's kind of weird. Like New Japan works with AEW and Impact, but now, well, back before Impact and AEW worked together, but now it's like you could work with AEW, but you can't work with AEW if you're in. What I mean, no way, they
I think
can. So
It was Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor was working with New Japan, so New
yeah,
Japan couldn't work with AEW.
yeah.
Um, but then I
And then
guess
Ring of
Ring of
Honor
Honor,
kind of
yeah,
didn't care anymore. They're like, okay, whatever.
yeah, because they were like out of the picture. But they still had AEW guys wrestling in New Japan.
Yeah, so it's like New Japan still works. It has like they have separate contract with Impact and AEW.
Maybe certain people then just, hey,
Yeah,
could we
so
use?
now, so like God, Jay White, they could work for both. They could work at AEW and Impact, but that puts. I mean, they work in three promotions technically. But then, like, if let's say God gets out in New Japan and they say they go to Impact. They say they get signed to Impact. They can't work with AEW or
That's
or
just
they could
too.
go. They,
That's
yeah,
just too
I don't know.
confusing.
I know. That's why I was like,
Uh,
just
just have them wrestle. But
just
anyways,
stay in one company.
yeah, Mickey James retained her Impact title. That was a good match. I love how Mickey James did that split. Oh yeah, that was sexy. Tasha Steele's great. I love her. Um glad kind of bittersweet. Happy that Mickey James won, but I felt like Tasha Steele should have won. But I
Hmm.
feel like giving her that extra, you know, she's a heel. So I feel like heels
Yeah.
shouldn't win on the first try. They should get multiple tries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
when it comes to a baby face, I feel like babyface should get like one or two opportunities. Um, but when it comes to heels, I feel like heels could like they're more better for them to get multiple opportunities at titles. Um, the other one was pretty good. Was Moose defending the Impact World title? W Morrissey, Big Cass. Damn man, that
Yeah.
dude rip as hell, man. Freaking trying to be like Lex Luger from what's it called from the when he was in the WCW Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Man, he's trying to be rip, bro. I was like,
He
damn.
looks like a bigger Edge, right? Looks like Edge.
No,
Not anymore.
I would say like honestly, if you look at a photo when look for a photo where Lex Luger was wearing like he was wearing the NWO Wolfpack.
Hmm.
And compare it to Big Cass, well W Morsley.
Yeah.
Now you would think they were related in some way.
Wow.
I'm being straight up. Like I don't,
Yeah.
obviously not so much on the face, but like overall everything.
Yeah.
You would think like, okay, is that your dad? Is that your uncle, older brother, or something? You know, this match it was surprisingly was pretty good. What ruined it was this was like finisher. Moose was hitting the spear. Morrissey was hitting the power bomb, but the thing is, he gave Moose a power bomb. It was sloppy. And then there was a spot where Moose, I don't remember it doesn't really matter because they both did it anyways. Moose hit Morrissey with a spear, right? And
Hmm.
he Morrissey, his leg was under the ropes, and the ref counted 1, 2, up, foot under the ropes. And then Morrissey did it to Moose. Arm is under, foot is under, the rope or arm. I don't remember. And it's like One, it was sloppy. That the fans started chanting, "You suck, ref." And some people were chanting, "You effed up for ref." Like, it was sloppy.
Yeah.
So if it
Oh.
wasn't for that part, it was good. To be honest, if I was gonna rate that match, I would give it like I would have honestly, I would have given it a 4 out of 5, but because of that sloppy moment, I gotta bring it down to like a 3.5.
Well,
So and that's honestly, that says a lot of Morrissey, because and plus the only thing was, yeah, it was just, there was a lot of sloppy moments, but there was a lot of good moments that made it up for it. And then
yeah.
the heartbreaking match, Honor No More defeated Team Impact, which was Chris Sabin, Rhino, Rich Swann, Steve
Macklin.
I was way off. Willie, I was gonna say Willie Richardson. Willie Mack, who took Eddie Edwards' spot. Eddie's spot apparently was attacked from Honor No More. If Honor No More wins, they remain in Impact Wrestling. A decent match. Maria, sexy. Oh my gosh, she so. But anyways, yeah, towards the end, Rhino was gonna spear who, somebody, I don't remember who.
Maria.
No, it wasn't Maria. Was it Maria at the first place? I know Eddie Edwards came out.
Yeah,
And
Maria in the first
oh
place, I think.
yeah, Maria.
Or
Eddie.
Bennett.
I don't. Yeah, but I remember Eddie Edwards was holding Maria, and then telling Rhino to spear him, and then Eddie Edwards hit Rhino with a kendo stick, knocking him out, and he hits everybody, all his friends, Team Impact, and knocks him out with the candlesticks. And yeah, and then Ring Honor got the 1, 2, 3, and or Ring of Honor No More got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now Eddie Edwards is now part of No Honor No More, which makes sense because Eddie Edwards used to be in Ring of Honor. Yeah, so heartbreaking. I got mad because I'm like, oh my god, just Eddie Edwards hurt, he's injured, and because we're gonna go see him in a couple weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see him in Sacrifice. I was like, damn it, he's probably gonna be out for a couple months. And then he shows up, and I'm like, oh, Eddie Edwards. I was like, wait a minute, no, he's gonna turn heel. And
They're like,
yeah,
damn you, Eddie.
I was like, damn you, Eddie. I was like, why? Why? Oh my god, why, baby? Oh jeez. But yeah, anyways. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad Eddie Edwards turned heel. And there was a nice twist. Teaming up with Ring of Honor, because he used to be, you knew he was the first ever Grand Slam, Ring of Honor's Grand Slam, or Triple Crown. Well, I think it was both, possibly.
Wow.
Triple Crown
No, I
and
didn't know that.
Grand Slam. So
Wow.
yeah, so makes sense. And I'm assuming Eddie Edwards is the leader. The only thing I'm curious is the Honor No More. They stay with Impact, but PCO or POCO.
PCO.
He signed with Impact. He actually signed a contract. Everybody else, I haven't heard of. I don't know if they did or didn't.
I think they'll probably go back when Ring of Honor starts their show in April.
Yeah. Or maybe the feud will continue. Maybe they'll have a match over there, Impact versus Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Who knows? Maybe they just signed a short-term contract deal.
Yeah.
Maybe PCO he actually signed like a full year or two.
Yeah.
So so hopefully I get to see Eddie Edwards versus Rhino at Sacrifice. Hopefully it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. That way, I could help Rhino beat up Eddie Edwards. But yeah, so overall show, I give it 4 out of 5. No surrender. Honestly, it should have not been that good for Impact Plus show. I was surprised how good it came out. Yeah, 4 out of 5, and then Elimination Chamber, I give it like a 3 out of 5.
Mm,
So
well.
yeah. Ah, I miss you ever. Talk to me, baby.
Yeah, so for sacrifice, because yeah, hey guys, yeah, we're gonna go to sacrifice in person in Louisville, Kentucky. So
Yeah.
what match are you looking for? I mean, we'll talk about in a later episode about sacrifice. But what match are you excited for at sacrifice besides that one, Eddie Edwards and Rhino? Like, what do you see? Is it's gonna be on March 5th,
Right.
so in about like yeah, a couple weeks, few weeks.
Oh, I
So
don't
what
know.
match do you want to see? Like, do you want to
Oh,
see
okay.
Moose first? Like, we'll
I
talk about it. We'll
definitely,
probably talk about it in a
yeah,
later episode. But
I definitely want to see Moose. I definitely want to see Eddie Edwards. I definitely want to see Jordan Grace. The inspiration. Um, uh, DK, Trey
hmm,
Miguel. Um, why am I throwing on a blank on her? Matt Cardona. Um, Mickey James. So I'm really hoping to see all of them there at the
yeah,
show. I'm pretty sure, I just want to see a great match because it's gonna be like a 5-hour drive for us. So
yeah,
I want every match to deliver, and yeah, and it's gonna be cool. So, but I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping that Eddie Edwards, just based on what happened, I'm pretty sure we may get that. But Eddie Edwards versus Rhino. I'm hoping that match takes place at Sacrifice. Moose. The only thing is, I can't really think of that many babyface on Impact right now. Like
hmm,
Moose is one of their top heels, and then you got Matt Cardona who turned heel, and he's gonna be a big heel in Impact Wrestling.
yeah.
Eddie Edwards just turned heel, so now it's like, oh man, you just have two big heel turns. So Brian Myers, he looks like he's the next contender, but he's a heel. So unless he turns face, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing that match.
Hmm.
Brian Myers, he has that Bret Hart look and also the Brian Pillman look. So the professional Brian Myers. So, but yeah, what about you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to see like where they take the storylines from like well, it's in a couple. Well, I see it was an Impact Plus event, so I'm thinking like the main storylines will probably be like Mickey James and Moose. Like what's gonna happen?
Hardcore country.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen there? And I don't know. There might be some surprises at
Yeah.
Sacrifice. Who knows? It might be like a team we didn't see before.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see Jay White too and God. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool. But we'll see. We'll find out. But before
yeah,
we head out, ever let the listeners know about our shop, baby.
yeah. Before we leave or go, check us out at our merch store on teespring.com. So, search for New Entry Wrestling Podcast. We got cool shirts and more. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. And check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe our channel. And thank you.
Yeah. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look out for our future YouTube videos. We're gonna do another trivia.
Yeah,
That's still more to come. That's what she
yeah.
said. But all right, Ever, take us home, baby.
All right, listeners, this be it for this episode. I am Ever, and this is Ian.
And we are out.
Bye, guys.
Doo doo doo.